The sky was angry. Clouds, thick and black as ink, rolled across the heavens, swallowing the last traces of the sun. The wind howled, bending trees until they snapped, ripping leaves from their branches like a cruel hand tearing at fragile skin. The air was thick, heavy with a pressure that made even the animals restless. Birds took to the sky in panicked flocks, their cries lost in the howling gale. Then came the rain. At first it was a whisper, a soft patter against the dry earth. The kind of rain that made farmers look up in gratitude, the kind that children danced in. But the whisper became a roar. The drops grew heavy, cold, relentless. The streets turned to rivers. Fields became lakes. And still the sky did not close. The people had been warned. Some listened. They packed what little they could and fled, seeking the high places. Places that had never known the touch of the sea. Others laughed at the warnings, shaking their heads at the doomsayers. Floods come and go, they said. The land endures. But water is patient. Water is relentless. It rose, devouring everything in its path. The rivers swelled, breaking their banks, rushing like beasts unchained. Streets disappeared beneath the tide. Homes, temples, palaces, none of them mattered. The water did not discriminate. It swallowed marble as easily as straw. The great city held against the flood for as long as it could. The walls stood tall, defiant against the rising tide. But stone was no match for the will of the sea. The first cracks were small, barely noticeable. Then the foundations shifted. Great towers which had touched the sky for centuries shuddered and fell. The screams of those inside were lost beneath the thunder of the waves. For days the rain did not cease. A lone boat drifted through the wreckage, its passengers silent as they watched their world disappear beneath the water. There had been no miracles, no gods to part the waves. The altars were drowned, their fires long since extinguished. The prayers had gone unanswered. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the rain stopped. The clouds broke apart, revealing a sky washed clean of its rage. The water, now calm, reflected the dawn like a mirror. The world was silent, empty, reborn. On the highest peak, where the flood could not reach, a child stood, staring out over the endless ocean. There was no fear in their eyes. No sorrow, only wonder. And as the first light of morning touched the water, the child turned and walked away, leaving behind a world that no longer belonged to the past. A new world had begun. Please like, share, and subscribe.